Good news, everybody! I found Hindu again. He's now unlost.
Hello?
Hindu? Hello?
Hello, lag?
Hello. Okay. No.
Hello?
Oh, there you are. Finally.
There we are.
Almost lost you again
We're
for a second, but we're good.
Hi.
We're good.
Eager versus Salt Shakers is going to be on your screen for this game. Salt Shakers have managed to get themselves into the quarterfinals. Now, reason being, semis. Sorry, excited, overexcited. Oh well, underexcited. Incorrect, because semis quarters. The Boogaloo didn't manage to be able to put a team together this week, which meant that they didn't get through. So Donga Esports faced off against Salt Shakers. Salt Shakers are the team that beat High Five in that 4v5 drama llama ding dong game, and now they get to face off against the #1 seeded Eager.
They are going to be hungry for this game. If they take first place today for Eager, that will cement them into a first place victory. An extra $1,000 for that team to put in their pockets later. Once the prizes finally get handed out for those guys after the Challenger Cup is concluded. But Band's already down and out. Cirquette, Bologna removed from Eager, and Salt Shakers taking Sylvanas Bastet off the table. Not too much surprising there.
Gab's going to be locked in for Aurora on the side of Eager. Not going to be surprised to see that one. What we've seen from Aurora so far is Sylvanas Gab. He will win games. I think that's kind of the order of the day from Eager. Give Aurora, Sylvanas, or Gab every single time. And give Hun Batz to Dare to Care. He's also got MVP for his role playing as Hun Batz weeks previously. And Xbalanque picked up for Zap Man. Cupid is available and wasn't picked just yet.
Indeed. So Poseidon getting locked in inside of Salt Shakers is going to be a decent bit of burst coming out for these guys. It's not an unusual combination. We saw, I believe they did play Poseidon back in that round 2 game for those guys earlier on today. But with that pickup, it's a lot of extra burst damage. They're also going to take Isis off the table, take that one out of the hands of Lassus. Potentially it's one of his most played gods. But Agni is still going to be available for him, and we've seen Lassus go absolutely insane on Agni. So if they don't pick it up here, they could be making a, I don't want to say a bad call, but or a mistake, but maybe not the most ideal pick coming up here in just a moment. You know, they locked in Poseidon as well, so they really can't pick up Agni unless they want to go for some crazy solo lane, or maybe, no, not jungle. We have a Thor already. Solo lane Poseidon? No.
With Lassus, we're going to see Ra, we're going to see Agni, the top 2 that he's mainly been picking. I mean, he has played a little bit of Janus as well, and he's currently hovering over that Janus right now. But he's quite comfortable on multiple gods in this mid lane. A lot of people didn't expect him to have such a big god pool, but he used to main mid a long time ago before jungle, and he's shown he's still very, very competent in this role and causes a lot of issue for enemy teams.
Indeed, and with that Sobek locked in, it is, someone said solo Batz. Anatoly has been playing a whole lot of solo Beck these days. It works absolutely wonderfully. And, well, it's pretty darn good. It's a pretty safe matchup. It's very hard to kill him. Let's face it, he's a guard and he's tanky. Provides some anti-healing. Lurking in the waters is like a very scary, noticeable slow these days, especially later on in the matchup. It's a pretty safe play. Anatoly's been messing around with it, trying out some different builds. I'm expecting some refinement from when we saw it last week.
Yeah, so Sobek has been picked up again, like you said, in this last pick over to Salt Shakers. They need a solo laner here. A couple of options available against this Sobek. You don't really want the Hercules, though, because Hercules anti-healing causes some issues. But talking about another one that could have a few issues, Vamana, pretty safe, though, for the most part. And Suavi played a fantastic Bologna earlier on, we saw today's item. Indeed.
So, we'll have to see how that one plays out. Vamana has a little bit rougher of a laning phase early on. There is potential... Look at the team composition. Hun Batz, Sobek potentially invading onto a Thor Vamana. Vamana doesn't necessarily have the strongest level 1 fighting capability, so they could potentially look to invade, steal that mana buff away. Even with a Bluestone Pendant, Vamana's going to have a little bit of a rough time. Much, much better than Season 1, don't get me wrong. That Bluestone Pendant helps an absolute insane amount if you get your mana buff stolen away. But even without it, he's not really going to be able to answer back any poke thrown out. It's basically going to be I have to use my mana for wave clear, and that's about it.
So, there you pick some bands for this game. Semi-finals of Eager up against the Salt Shakers. If Eager win this one and the next one, they're 100% first place position for themselves in the Challengers Cup. And this is week 6. We'll be right back after this short little break as they get themselves into game.
Alright guys, hello and welcome back. It is time for the semi-final matchup. First seed, Eager, facing off against Salt Shakers, who managed to pull off a little bit of an upset earlier on. They're facing off against, like I said, the first seed team, so this is a big game for both these guys. Eager to take first place this week. They locked themselves in first place. And Salt Shakers, they want those shooting points as well. An upset against Eager would just be an absolute huge cause of celebration for Salt Shakers.
It would jump them in points massively as well. They're currently seeded 13th/14th this week based off how the points are at the moment. So they've already going to jump a lot of points. They've guaranteed themselves a top 4 finish, which is 25 points, which will see them shoot up the rankings into a potential around 8th and 9th position. If they do manage to hit top 2, though, that's an even bigger jump for them, 60 points. It will push them into the land of the top 6, top 5 even, especially with how these games have gone so far today. So Salt Shakers have a chance here, but they've got such tough opposition that are like on the road to victory, so to speak, in Eager here.
Indeed. Early words were placed down by both these teams. Want to make sure they spot out any possible invades. Salt Shakers have to be very concerned about that. Suave on Vamana, a very ripe, easy picking target for that invade, but Eager are starting with those back harpies. It does mean a little bit of extra experience going to lane, but that does mean they won't have the time to actually go for that invade onto the other side of the map.
Yep, it's just a safety one, just in case they do get invaded, and especially because we didn't see Sobek. Oh, actually, we did see Sobek take up Hog. I feel like it's one of those plays that can work out in case you do get invaded on. At the same time, it can also mean that you're going to get more experience for yourselves if you don't get invaded on. So it's a sort of a safer decision. Deadcare's actually not going to come to lane at all here. Going to rotate straight to mid lane to help out Lassis at the beginning of this game and play this one very, very safe and allow Sobek to get himself a bit of an experience lead in this lane over the Vamana.
Indeed. Thor is also making a very early rotation out of that solo lane as well, so not really going to be too much gained by Sobek over there. Left side. Soul may have forced to disperse back out.
Aggression came out
positioning.
They did. Deadscare with this early rotation was looking at back harpies here. Changed his mind though. He's going to rotate to the left-hand lane very, very early on in this game. Now we did just see Disperse was used, but he should be back available any second. So Dare not going to find anything there. So this rotation from Deadscare at the moment, he's just soaking mid-experience with Lassis for the most part, waiting around looking for a pick. He's not forming any back camps here, and he's going to delay Lassis hitting level 5 a little bit, but he will get himself to level 5 at a reasonable, usual time, so to speak.
Yeah. A lot of Pokemon back and forth in this duo lane right now. Both these AD carries have to be careful, but Zapman going aggressive now, using that Rising Jaguar. Small Mayo will disperse straight back out. Only took 1 or 2 little ticks worth of damage. Over in the solo lane, Anatoly right now with the solo back, it's going to be pretty difficult to kill him, but at the same time, the wave clear this early on, really not in his favor. Vamana, not typically known for his very good wave clear, is more than capable of pushing that wave to the tower over and over. And as things stand right now, it appears, guys, we're having some connection issues. We're going to go ahead and cut to a quick little break, get all the comm issues sorted out, and we'll be back here with the game in just a couple moments. Alright guys, hello and welcome back. Sorry for that delay. Adonis is going to be joining me here for the continuation of this cast. Hindu appears to have vanished once again. He got lost. We have to work on solving that here.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's just holes appearing in Europe, I suppose. So I'll be filling in. Thank you, Zyodin, for allowing me to be here. But right off, we have a 0-0 match, so very slow-paced early game. Typical. Probably going to be seeing mid-harpy fights, though, in about 40 seconds be the big deciding factor on how this game starts off.
Oh yeah, it's a very common thing these days. Ultimate's going to be coming in line for some of these guys as well. We'll see exactly who has the slight little advantage. Sometimes the team gets ahead a little bit earlier on, and having that extra ultimate or two in a first team fight can be a pretty big deal. Eager, mid lane, and jungler did just hit 5, so at least they'll have 2 online here in just a little bit.
Yeah, and they might even try and zone here. They definitely don't want Thor to hit 5. Thor's 5 is very strong at mid-harpy fights, but there he is. He does hit it. So we're going to see a Thor Poseidon mid-harpy fight versus a Hunbat's Janus. The Hunbat's is going to be big, but the Poseidon stun combo with Thor is really strong. We're going to have to see Eager need to be careful.
Yeah, over in the solo lane, Suave took a decent bit of poke from Anatoly. He did just get to level 5 as well, so he'll have that Colossal Fury if he needs to. Mid-harpy camps, though, both sides did go to Eager. Salt Shaker is losing out that battle on both sides.
Yeah, it didn't look like they were ready or wanted to contest. Aurora did out-rotate the Athena there, picks him up on left, and Dare to Care immediately goes to right. So a small lead for Eager right off. About 1,000 experience and 3,000 gold, but we do have a gank over here. Batz going on Athena, 1 more auto attack. They're going to pick it up. That's first blood.
Indeed, they're looking to answer back down to Dare to Care. Somersault across the wall will get him out safely. Aurora nearby just in case. Kraken mid lane as well into Lassis. He's getting low. Through space and time for a little bit of damage. Kraken's immunity. Lassis will escape through the wall with the portal and get out safely. So Eager 1-0 overall, and they're kind of all over the place fight.
Yeah, Lassis actually, real dangerous move. Tried to Spirit Gun Poseidon in his face. Just barely got off his portal, though, through that mid-harpy wall. Barely escaping. Almost could have been a misplay if Poseidon would have hit that last auto attack.
Without a doubt. Right now, though, mid-harpies went side of Eager. That first blood as well. So they have a little bit of a gold lead as this game continues to go forward right now. Nothing really to run away with at the moment. They're going to continue looking to apply pressure where they possibly can. Buff camps just starting to spawn right now. I wouldn't be too surprised if these guys really start to look to invade it once again. They have the opportunity, and Suave has been kind of pushed back to his tower so far in that solo lane. So there's an opportunity here for Eager if they want to go for this invade. And, well, Batz right now lurking around that speed buff. He wants to do exactly that.
Yeah, this is a good fight for him, too. With the Kraken down, Poseidon is very weak early on until his Whirlpool starts to do a lot more damage. He's just going to grab this free, jump over the wall, should be fine. There's nothing that Poseidon can do to stop it, and they actually look like they want to keep the fight up.
Yeah. Aurora getting kind of chased down right now. They're probably not going to be able to kill unless they really commit hard to this one right now. Dare to Care going to throw the Sacred Monkey over. Look possibly for a teleport, but not going to commit to it. But right now, Poseidon of this mid lane not in a good... Oh, actually not a good spot. He's able to kind of skirt his way out, using that Trident for a little bit extra movement speed. He got away from that gank attempt there by Aurora.
Yeah, good positioning from them. How do you feel about this... this dual Guardian meta really coming forth? We see a lot of it from Cloud9 and TSM in the Pro League, and now we're seeing it once again. Actually, a gank on the right. Suave getting really low, but a great knockup. Is Dare going to hit it? Yeah, just barely hits the jump. He's going to pick up that kill and a little bit of BM or lag.
Either way, he did fall to tower 1-for-1, getting answered back in the end. Seemed like a little bit of lag, or maybe just a celebratory. He didn't expect to connect the somersault, so he was cheering out in TeamSpeak. I don't know. Possible.
Guys, I hit it. I just deserve to die off of that one.
Yeah, you were talking about the whole solo lane Guardian play. It's an interesting kind of build these days. A lot of other MOBAs went through their phases like, let's just build super tanky except for the one guy who we're going to rely on to do all of our damage. It's kind of almost like a protect the 80 carry composition. You get that extra Guardian, a lot of extra tankiness. Actually, left side gank coming out once again. Small Mayo going to use that Desert Fury trying to avoid the Cataclysm. Not going to matter. Shockwave does come out as well as the Cataclysm from Aurora. A little bit extra damage for both Small Mayo and Not a Pro yet. Going to survive that attempt on their lives. Yes, the whole second Guardian thing, it's a lot of extra peel, it's a lot of extra tankiness, and potentially could work out pretty well. It's a kind of a new thing.
Aurora
a lot of people
could be in a lot of trouble. Yeah, there's a crack, and Aurora just rolled out into mid, but he doesn't get hit in the center, and Aurora actually may be able to walk out of this. Double tap misses. Last is in here too. Shotgun. Cyrus getting really low in the portal. Oh, but he beats actually to immune the damage. Aurora looking for the kill though. Might go a little too deep. Just barely survive.
Spear gun.
Space and time just gonna miss.
Yeah, unfortunately on that one. Would have been a kill otherwise. Aurora gonna go ahead and roll on out from that. Last will survive. Dare to Care survived. Pretty much everyone survived that little engagement. A little bit of risky play coming from Eager, but they're looking to make these big plays. A little risky. It almost paid off. At the same time, it almost backfired. So, well played by them overall in the end, I guess, because, well, everyone survived.
Yeah, Aurora, the rollout to mid it's really dangerous to roll out to mid, or as a support in general, to use your ability to get into mid lane. And we saw that mistake from Aurora there. Almost paid for his life. He should have died. Poseidon just barely missed him in the center of the Kraken. Yeah. He's able to escape it, but if he does that again, I'm sure that IMJ is going to look to pick that off next time for a secured kill.
Oh, without a doubt. Another big problem with the rollout is the fact that if you're slowed when you initially channel it up, your movement speed is permanently slow for the duration of that rollout. So essentially, you have to cancel it or you're not going anywhere, because even if the slow only lasts 1 second, that slow will apply for the duration of the rollout. Thor going up in the air right now, looking for the gank down. Zapman over in that left lane, not going to find it. Good Darkness Knight's coming out. The stun will save his life. Able to live. He's not too deterred by this, and it looks like Eager might be looking for a play here in the left lane as they rotate over.
Yeah, with that Thor ult down, and his hammer's down as well, he could be in a lot of trouble if Aurora elects to commit to this, but no, I think he got in combat, wasn't able to blink there. Dare to Care, though, looking around up top.
Right side.
Look to turn on Poseidon here.
Suave found a kill in the back.
Kraken comes out.
Yeah, like I said, beads coming out. Last is playing a dangerous game right there. It's like, come at me, come at me. I know you want to throw that taunt to try and find me, but for now I'm just going to go through the portal. Get out safely. Nothing you can do about it.
Yep, and like you said, we did see Suave pick up Anatoly in the solo lane.
Yep. He went for the dive, and in the end, Big Baby came out. 5% of your health being regenerated per second. It's a lot of extra healing, and tower shots made a big part of that kill. Anatoly took very many of them during that dive, and ended up paying for it. But it was a close call. Suave, if not for his ultimate, would have likely died as well. Through space and time, speed buff invade is good, And with those couple portals, both those Eager members will make it back out safe into the mid lane, where they can look possibly to regroup here. Maybe join up left side, a little bit of aggression coming out. Small Mayo forced back under his tower. But once they look for dive, probably be okay here.
Yeah, with Thor ult being down and they know it's down, you do see Zatman start to be a lot more aggressive. He's the player who wants to sit at the other team's tower edge, and look at him, he's going to look to steal this attack speed buff. Knowing that the Thor ult's down, he doesn't have to worry about the counter ganks coming through. Small Mayo's going to recognize it, but he's not going to be able to do anything.
Yeah. Everyone likes to joke around. We were joking around, especially Hindu back a couple weeks, Zatman is tactical feeding. He has actually been playing much more conservatively. He's not really playing that as aggressive as he was. He's being a lot more respectful of the enemy AD carries, and by not, that whole tactical feeding, giving up a handful of kills early game, it keeps the other team that much further behind for that much longer. And overall, his play has really stepped up a lot just over these past couple weeks.
Oh yeah, I would have to imagine after making the Pro League, after being at the pinnacle of Smite Esports for so long, Zatman's probably looking to turn it around. Eager, they've won every single week outside of the first week, correct? In North American Challenger Cup. So they're looking strong for these summer relegations coming up soon.
Oh, without a doubt. They definitely have a seat in the qualifiers. It's all down to right now. If they take first place today or next week, they get an extra $1,000 for that first place seed prize. So really can't complain about that in the end. But they are guaranteed a shot at the SPL here, and I believe it's about a month's time right now. I'm sure they are thrilled to have that. And a little bit of aggression coming out left side. Rising Jaguar used for some damage. He's middle out shifting sands. Taunt comes down, but Aurora immediately cleanses with the stone shield.
Yeah, we actually see Small Mayo jump in. Thor looking to counter. Zatman getting really low. Desert Fury gonna hit him really low. Small Mayo running in the back, but Dare is looking to pick him up. Thor taking so much damage. Zatman will pick up that kill. Meanwhile, Dare on the split fight will pick up one more, maybe two more. Yeah, that's gonna be a deal for Dare. So kills all across the lane. Small Mayo jumped in there looking for a fight because of the Thor ult, but Dare and Lassus were right behind him.
Yeah.
They felt too safe with that global when Lassus has the counter global.
Poseidon was looking for the Kraken steal potential, but it was not able to find it. He's going to get picked up here as well. Goldfrey going over to the side of Eager. He would have potentially had a lot of burst damage. The problem was, the Kraken Whirlpool does a lot of damage, but it's not 25% of Goldfrey's health worth of damage. And Eager, let's face it, they weren't really low enough health for that combo to actually find a kill potentially. And pretty much as expected, Eager immediately saw him. Two of us, let's go zone him out completely, make sure he cannot look to come in for the steal. So they picked up the Gold Fury, and they're looking possibly to pick something in the jungle, but they have to be careful. Lassus could get caught out, but let's face it, he's Janus. Portal through the wall, he's free and clear.
Yep, but actually Thor's going to hammer in behind him. He's going to portal out, but no, I thought Small Mayo was going to rotate to pinch that, but he elects to go and take the farm. Over and left. Looking at the graphs, though, 4,000 gold difference right now, 7,000 experience difference. So Eager with a pretty solid lead, only 11 minutes into the game.
Definitely. With that said, though, Salt Shakers are playing pretty well. There's no real big discrepancy coming out. Lassus has a little bit of a level advantage in the mid lane. Hunter's pretty much the same. A slight level disadvantage for Small Mayo, but that pretty much comes down to the kills Zatman was on. Stack-wise, in Varus Gauntlets, he is dead even. He's a couple behind right now. A little bit back. Yeah, I believe he was just, highest I saw was 14 stack difference a little bit ago. So he's doing a good job fighting Zatman, especially, Zatman is one of the better AD carries, aside from, the SPL Zatman, who is better than the Challenger Cup Zatman. Zatman is definitely up there as far as the AD carry tier list goes. So
for sure. And it looks like he's going to be building into the Ickvul soon. Having that early lead on Xbalanque, Anhur controls this lane, hands in, hands down. But now that Zatman has that extra kill, an extra level, he's basically evened it up. And as long as he can keep applying the pressure to Small Mayo, not much he can do. But we do have engagement over in mid camps.
They're looking for Dark Knight's a little bit of a turns, but now right now Salt Shaker's looking for the fight. Kraken does get dropped down. Thor getting very, very low. Lassus finds the kill with the Unstable Vortex. Zatman finds Small Mayo in that duo lane as well. Athena dropped through a portal. Shockwave, Unstable Vortex off cooldown again. That's going to be the third kill across the map right now for Eager. They're not even going to worry about the left side Harpies actually were picked up in middle engagement. Right side by Dare. They're looking for the tier 1 tower. Zatman looking for that attack speed buff steal on the left-hand side of the map. Eager are looking to establish a really good stranglehold right now in this match and just start to look to run away with it.
Yeah, they're just going to ignore the Vamana. There's no point in even trying to gank him. Toli's not really going to be able to get him low enough, and finding kills elsewhere. They're just going to allow Totally to stalemate that lane and keep applying the pressure. The experience difference is really what's showing right now. Lassus, Unstable Vortex is just chunking the Thor, who's 5 levels behind him now, doing about 35% of his health. But now Suave actually could be in a lot of trouble. Big Baby goes out. Athena ult on top, but I don't think they're going to be able to really return anything. Dare jumps in place, trying to avoid the damage. Doesn't miss it, though. Dare getting low, has to beats. Looks like they're just going to look to disengage.
Yeah, they were able to save Suave's life at least, so they gained that out of it. Unfortunately, not able to answer with a kill of their own. Anatolia's going to use that charge prey to get back to the safety of his tower. They could look for some damage on it, but there are reinforcements for Eager nearby if they are needed. Salt Shakers right now, they have a pretty big gold lead to contest with, and you know, they're keeping their jungle, the jungle very heavily warded. But if you look at the blue wards placed on by Eager, they are looking to just completely take over the Salt Shakers jungle right now.
Yeah, for sure. And they actually, as a team, haven't warded as much. 14 minutes in, already 8 wards. If just without sentries, that's 400 gold invested. So the Poseidon, who's already behind on Lassus, is going to be even further behind with all the gold he's investing into wards, just trying to make sure he doesn't get ganked, and he's still getting ganked.
Yeah, it's definitely a rough situation, and already they're looking to bait this out. They are sitting on a ward, so they probably will not get caught by this, I would hope. Another ward placed down. They know it's coming in. Lassus going through that portal. Aurora in the middle as well, looking for the quick pick on the not a pro yet. Can they find it? They're going to be able to sneak away just in the nick of time. But Unstable Vortex going to find a decent chunk on the Thor. Thor's up, possibly looking for a pick, but there's really nobody there to help him. They could... Poseidon's nearby, but it would be a risky play. He's going to drop down and look for Aurora, but wasn't able to find him.
Yeah, Dare is rotating in too, but I don't think they're ready to tier 2 tower dive yet. They're actually going to rotate on a small Mayo here on the left, who's now in a lot of trouble 4 versus 1. Darkest Knights comes through. He's going to beat and try to jump away, but Lassus pick up that kill, and looks like probably turn on that tier 1 tower afterwards.
Yep, that's not going to be up for too long. They're looking for more kills right here. Looking for the pick onto Thor. Overhand smash, drop to that portal. Unstable Vortex, not available yet. Once it comes out, however, does hit for the double tap in the center of it. Finds that kill. Lassus right now running 4-0-3. And with the portals, everyone is able to just kind of maneuver across this map. Janus is so hard to lock down and find a kill on, and when he's already this far ahead, doing this much damage, it's just so actually difficult to shut him down because he's a monster right now.
Yeah, he's just so far ahead, and the Poseidon in general doesn't scale well when he gets behind. One of the mages that when he's behind he can't really do much. We actually saw his full combo, Whirlpool, Kraken, and Tidal Wave hit onto Aurora, and it barely scratched him. He's just, this Poseidon is out of the game unless he can get a good setup from the rest of his team.
Over the right lane, Suave's going to answer with the tier 1 tower. He's not going to be caught up, but this one Anatolia can just kind of throw him around a little bit, but can't really look for the kill. Poseidon, he has the Spear of the Magus online. It's going to shred away some magical protections, but he really doesn't have that damage. In Season 2, one of the big things Poseidon's typically rushed for is that big Doom Orb. As much as he's been getting pressured and ganked, it's a good call by him not to pick that up, but that accelerated gold magical power scaling from that item, as cheap as it is, it just puts Poseidon online that much more quickly. Charge Prey, I may have been mistaken over this right lane. Clear the path will be used. Big Baby coming out as well. But there's a fight going on in this right side jungle. They might look for something. They're looking for the speed buff, but Salt Shakers are here to contest it.
This is a fight that Salt Shakers needs to fight. They don't know, but Dare to Care and that man were out of that fight for now. Now that they've rotated in, it's a little bit worse. But actually, we do see an engage. Darkest Knights and through space time going to come through. Thor's barely going to get up, but Athena will fall in the back line. Kraken comes through, just tickling Eager. Thor's going to ult out. He can't keep up that fight, but that Poseidon ult just tickling Eager. It's just not enough damage across the board right now for them.
And with that speed buff stolen away, a couple kills on the board for those guys. They're going to go for the first Fire Giant attempt of this matchup, just 17 minutes, 30 seconds in. We've actually seen much earlier Fire Giants coming out from Eager. I believe they have the current Challenger Cup record sitting around the 12-minute mark. I don't remember what exactly it was, but it was burst down so quickly. That's 5 Fire Giant belts to contend with now. It's a lot of gold worth of stats, the regen, the extra damage to towers and objectives. Salt Shakers need to look to mount a defense, but it's going to be really difficult for them to do so. Dare to Care secures that kill on the Thor as well. Just got caught in the jungle right there.
Yeah, it took so much damage. That Unstable Vortex, I believe, hit him for almost half his life right now. I mean, he is so far behind, 7 levels behind Lassus. It's going to be hard for him to get back in. Aurora just looking to zone out the rest of the team. They're going to take that tier 2 tower. Small Mayo with the split push in the left lane, but I don't know if there's much he's going to be able to pick up.
And Swab in the back, trying to delay, just going to get picked up on that. The damage coming out from Eager right now is just insane. Looking at the damage chart, Poseidon's actually doing a good job overall keeping up. There's a lot of AoE damage. Poseidon, though, speaking of him, is going to get plucked in by that charge probably from Anatoly. He's finally able to join up in these fights, and it's paying off already. Right side Phoenix just brought down so quickly. There's some tier 2 towers to take. It's a lot of extra gold. They're probably not going to be defended in the slightest, so right now, Eager have kind of gotten that stranglehold established and just looking to squeeze Salt Shakers out.
Yeah, they're already ahead, and the only way that Salt Shakers can come back into this is huge team fights, and Anatoly just finding really these thin plucks through the teams, allowing them to keep picking multiple players, not allowing Salt Shakers to team fight when they need to, and they're all going to back in unison, looking at gold in hand. Anatoly 3K, the rest of them about 2,000, so they're going to spend all that tower gold they just earned and probably look to push up this left lane.
Yeah. A little bit of a different build coming out from Anatoly. Last game we saw the Athena pick up that Ethereal Staff early on. Warlock Stash, okay, fair enough. It's like the I'll build stacks first equivalent of Ethereal Staff. But otherwise, he's going for a more heavily damage-focused build. Chronos Pendant is an option, but if he wants to go full, I want to do damage, Ratatouille could be an option here as well in the near future. He had enough gold to finish off that as a Chronos Pendant, so he's looking for that Ratatouille. He was a couple hundred gold short of that. He's looking to hurt.
Yeah, and Last is actually looking to pick up small Mayo here. Facing time coming through, and there's just nowhere for him to go. He just got caught out trying to farm up.
Left side tier 2 now a threat. Last is quickly carrying that wave with the unstable vortex. Salt Shaker's really afraid right now to leave the protections of their base. Mid Phoenix is very much a threat. Aurora more than happy to tank it up. Throwing the stone shield on himself. Zapman's going to be shredding through that pretty quickly as the rest of the team starts to join this party.
They're all through. This is what they needed to fight. Kraken comes through, hits 2. But Poseidon immediately blown up. Thor getting really low. Overhand smash will finish him off. Double kill for Zapman, actually. And Big Baby, he's trying to pick up anything he can, but he's the only one left alive to defend his Phoenix and his Titan.
Yep, his health is dropping. Drop through that portal. Unstable Vortex could find a kill. Maybe a Rising Jackal from Zapman as well. One more attack will be the full-on deicide. Small Mayo will be up in a couple seconds. The Titan has been aggressed. Half health. Surrender Bow coming out. Desert Fury could do big damage, but it's looking like it's not going to be enough. The last is looking for that one quick kill. The Unstable Vortex hit, but the immunity had already gone to play. Nevertheless, Eager takes a semifinal victory over Salt Shakers. They will be moving on to the finals here in just a little bit.
Yep. Good play across the board, but Dare to Care, from what I saw, just all across the map. He was in every fight that he needed to be. 8-1 and 8. So out of how many kills was it? Let's take 22. A look here. 20, yeah, so he was out of 18 of the 22 total kills. So the pressure put out by Dare, and Thor just couldn't match it.
Yeah, he fell behind a little bit earlier. There was a big early rotation coming out off of Dare to Care as well. He pretty much didn't go to solo lane. They got back harpies, they did speed buff, they did mana buff, and immediately Dare to Care just went mid. Soaked some experience over there, and they just started this whole game. We're going to look for ganks, look to catch people out. In the end, 10-1 and 8 on that Hun Batz. It worked out very, very well. I was talking to Hindu before you hopped on here. We were saying, that early rotation could be a little risky. Fall behind. He didn't have that early chunk of experience, rather, that most gods soak up in that solo lane. But it seemed to have worked out pretty well for him in the end.
Yep, probably some experimenting they're doing here, but we'll see if it works moving forward.
Indeed. That said, guys, we'll go ahead and cut to a quick little break. Set ourselves up for what should be the finals here in just a few. So stick around, enjoy the music. We'll see you guys in a bit.